marry your kind. Many of us have a list. Tall, dark, handsome, good job, nice car, funny. Your kind goes deeper than that. Your kind is someone who shares your values, who shares your standards, your why, the way you see the world, the God you serve, the character you're building, the healing you're after. Your kind won't feel like fireworks. Hey friend, welcome back to another episode of the Rise and Rebuild podcast. I am so glad you're here, my friend. I really am. I am super thankful for you for showing up every single day. So, how are you doing? I really hope you've been taking care of yourself. You've been taking care of your spirit, your soul, your body, because all that matters. Do matter. So if you're new here, welcome. Pull up a chair. This is your space, a space for women like you who are done surviving and ready to rise and rebuild every area of their lives. My name is Lydia. I am your host and your sister and coach on this journey. And if you've been here for a while, you already know how we do it here. No surface level discussions and conversations here. We go deep, we get honest, and today is no different. But before we dive in, again, I have to remind you guys, please subscribe. Thank you to my 300 plus. Can you imagine? Just 6 months ago, I had 11 subscribers. Today, we are at 300, almost 400 subscribers. Goal to 1,000 subscribers. I'm trusting God for you to keep on bringing your friends, share the word, spread the gospel, and let no sister be left behind. All right? So welcome. So today, actually this month of April, we've been in this beautiful relationship series where I'm talking about marriage. The last episode was really good, where I told and asked you not to obsess and idolize marriage. And today we are talking about something incredibly important as well, especially for women who are intentional about who they invite into their lives, and especially if marriage is something you desire. So if you're praying for a partner, if you're dating or preparing for marriage, I need you to know this today. Who you choose to marry will either multiply your peace or multiply the patterns that are running your life. Did you hear that? Today's topic is marry your kind. Not your type, your kind. And there's a difference, a big one, and we're going to talk about that. Okay? So listen, many of us have a list. You write a list. You know the list I'm talking about, a list of the type of man you're looking for: tall, dark, handsome, good job, nice car, funny, nice shoes. Maybe he plays the guitar, maybe he plays the piano at your church, has all his hair, from the chest up. You know the list. And listen, there's nothing wrong with having a list or knowing what you want. Those are just preferences, and it's okay. But there is a dangerous difference between someone who matches what's on your list and someone who matches your kind. Those specs or things that are on your list are mostly external, are things that you can see on day one. His height, his career, he has a good car, he lives in a good house, he looks good in photos, he has a good mustache, whether he makes you have butterflies, he has a six-pack. But your kind goes deeper than that. Your kind is someone who shares your values, who shares your standards, your why, the way you see the world, the God you serve, the character you're building, the healing you're after. Because I can tell you, I have seen women marry men who hit every checkpoint on the list and be completely miserable. You can marry someone who's TDH, tall, dark, and handsome, has all the money in the world, has literally everything that was on your list or that is on your list currently, and have a very unhappy union. Because most of the time he was just your type, but not your kind. And I've also seen women end up with people who are not on their list, who were not even what they imagined at all, who did not check things on their list and find the most beautiful, peaceful, God-honoring love of their lives. So my sis, before you swipe right on that dating app or give someone your time, Start asking yourself a different question. Does this guy look like my kind? Not does he check my boxes? For instance, if you're a woman who values integrity, why would you be with someone who doesn't value integrity and then later on complain he's a liar? No, sis, you saw that. You knew that was not your kind and you still went ahead with the relationship. If you value family, why would you get involved with someone who doesn't prioritize family, who doesn't show up for other people in their life, who doesn't even speak kindly about their own family? And then later on, you feel disappointed when he doesn't show up for you the way you need him to. If you value peace, why would you entertain someone who is inconsistent and predictable, always bringing confusion into your life, and then wonder why you feel anxious all the time? You see where I'm going with this? If you value growth, right now you're listening to this podcast because you want to grow, you want to heal yourself. Why would you stay with someone who's comfortable where they are, who are not trying to be better, who are resisting accountability, change, and then feel stuck in the relationship? If you value communication, why would you be with someone who shuts down, who avoids conversations, who makes everything a fight, and then complain that you're doing the most or you're not being heard? You know what I'm talking about? If you value God, faith is a big one. Why would you build with someone who treats God like an option, who doesn't even like your God, and then feel alone in your faith? You know what I'm talking about. Most of us are entertaining things we know very well are not our kind or the things that we will value, but we still go ahead with them. And this is not me coming at you. This is me calling you higher. Because sometimes we don't miss the signs, we override them. We see the misalignment, right? We see that this is not anything that I value and still choose it. Like, really think about it. When you're around this guy, do you feel some peace or do you feel very unsettled? Are you constantly trying to figure that person out? Or is there clarity in how they show up? And be honest with yourself here. Are you liking the guy for where he is right now or for who you hope he'll become? You know, potential? Because those are two different things. And a lot of us have built our entire relationships on just potential. Ask yourself, can you actually be yourself around them? Or do you have to walk on eggshells? Do you have to always curate what you have to say or polish everything? Or you can just be yourself? Do you have to shrink, adjust, or move a certain way, dress a certain way, be a certain way? Because you're kind, it's not just someone you enjoy being with, it's also someone you can build with. Someone who feels steady, someone who feels safe, someone who doesn't leave you guessing. And I'll be honest with you. Sometimes, actually most of the time, your kind won't feel like fireworks. You know those butterflies, those intense and overwhelming feelings you get when you meet someone? Sometimes it just feels like peace. And if you're used to chaos, peace can start to feel very unfamiliar when you meet your kind, almost like something is missing. But nothing is missing. You are just experiencing something healthy. So, my dear, do not rush past that. Don't overlook it just because it doesn't feel like what you're used to. Slow down. Pay attention. Watch how he shows up over time, not just what he says in the moment. Because choosing your person is not just about who you like or your type. It's about the life you're building and your kind. And listen, for my God girls or Jesus girls, going to church alone does not make a man your kind. I know. We grew up in communities where if he's saved and in church, that's the green light right there. He's a good man. He loves God. He'll make a good husband. But I've seen some of the most painful relationships involve two people who are both very committed in church, calling themselves Christians. They know their scriptures in and out, and they go to Sunday school, Sabbath school, name them religiously. That is not enough. That is not enough. The Bible tells us, you will know them by their fruits. Watch out for the fruit. Does he treat people with dignity? Not just with you when he's trying to impress you. Does he treat the waiters, his family, his colleagues? Is he growing? Is he actively doing the work of becoming a better man? Is he accountable? Does he have people in his life who can speak to him and challenge him? Those are the fruits you want to see. Because a man who cannot produce fruit, a man who cannot answer to anyone or no one, is a man you need to watch out for carefully. Okay? Let me also speak to two things. First is money. It sounds very unspiritual. Sometimes people say money is the root of all evil. I am not telling you to date wealthy men. Come with me. I'm telling you to date a man who has a healthy relationship with money. Does he have financial integrity? Is he honest about where he is and where he's going? Does he manage what he has with responsibility? Because, my friends, financial stress is one of the leading causes of conflict in marriage. Talk about money. Ask real questions. It's not unromantic to ask. That is wisdom. You are preparing your future with this guy. That is the kind of conversations you should be having. Second, shared background is not enough. I have had women say, he's from my culture. He understands my family. And yes, shared culture can be a beautiful foundation, but same tribe, same race, same background does not automatically make someone your kind. Character is not inherited. No. Values are not even culturally passed along. Emotional maturity is not even tribal. It's not about your tribe or race. Your kind goes beyond where you're from. It lives in who you're becoming and whether that person is also becoming something compatible with who you are becoming. All right? So watch out for that. The other thing that I also want you to watch out for as you look for your kind is the person who believes they are already perfect. Listen, a man or a person who cannot receive feedback, who cannot say, I was wrong, admit their mistakes without turning it into a debate or a fight, who has no visible blind spots, that person will make marriage very hard for you. Because marriage requires two people who are willing to grow together imperfectly with grace. You want a man that is work in progress, who is not threatened by accountability, who can sit with difficult conversations without shutting down or blowing up, and who knows that they are not perfect. Please look for this before the ring is on your finger. Before you say, yes, I do, look at how he handles being wrong, how he handles disappointment, how he handles you when you disagree. Because the version of him, trust me, that you're seeing right now when he's courting you or winning you over is not the only version you need to check. That's just a curated version. People show their best self when they are chasing something, right? You want to meet the version that shows up when things get hard. That's the side of that man that you really need to know. Having said that, the question then becomes, how do you actually know if someone is your kind when you're just dating? When you're still getting to know them and everything takes time? That is a true question. You don't get all the answers in the beginning, for sure. And I think that's where a lot of us get it all wrong. We are always looking for certainty too quickly. We want to be sure, is this my type? Is this my kind? Where is this relationship going? But listen, clarity and certainty is not about knowing everything right away. It's about paying attention over time. You're not looking for certainty instantly. You're looking for consistency. So as you date, look at this man. How does he show up? Not just on his best days, but in the normal everyday moments. How does he respond when things don't go his way? When you express yourself or when you say something that matters to you, does he ignore it? Does he understand? How does he behave around you? You won't have all the answers at the beginning, but if you slow down and stay consistent and honest about what you're seeing, clarity will come. And that is why it's so important to give yourself time to date and truly get to know someone before you commit. Take time. Take your time. You're not in a rush. All right? Now, before I close, I also want to be very honest with you for a second because this is a safe space and that's what we do here. Some of us haven't really found our kind yet, not because they don't exist, but because we haven't fully become our own kind yet. Can I say that again? You cannot fully recognize your kind until you know who you are, until you've done the work. This is the work that we do here. Until you've sat with yourself and God and asked, who am I? What do I carry? What am I called to do? What do I need? Not just what do I want? What do I need and what do I have to offer? Because here's the thing, becoming your own kind is the very first step towards getting your kind. It's about intentionality. It's about knowing your values. It's about standing your ground and standing in them, healing the places that are still hurting, and trusting that the right person will meet you where you are and will not require you to shrink yourself to fit in. If you're in a season of waiting, dating, or deciding, take your time, get to know yourself, understand who you are, and then marry your kind. Think about the person you are engaging with or the person you're considering, and truly get honest with yourself if you share the same values, not just the same interests. Has he shown you his character when no one is watching? Are you attracted to who he is or who you hope he'll be or become? Can you bring your full self into the relationship and still feel safe? Are you choosing from clarity or pressure? Take your time, because there's no timeline, no age, no biological clock, no family expectation, no social media pressure that is worth rushing, that is supposed to last a lifetime. And as I said, marriage is an eye opener. You marry wrong, you will live in hell for the rest of your life. So it is very important that you take time to be your own kind first. Be the reflection of the type of man or person you want to marry. If these are your values, you value integrity, then have integrity first. Honest, then be honest with yourself as well before you get that person. Remember, we attract who we are, not what we want. So be your own kind first, then marry your kind. All right? That's all I had for you today, my friend. I just wanted to jump right here to remind you, this is your year to work on yourself, to be your own kind, be who you want to attract before you go out there finding your kind. And then when you do that, go ahead and marry your kind if marriage is in the cards for your life. Okay? I hope to see you again soon. Take care of yourself. Until next time, bye-bye.